I bid you welcome.
I welcome you to my house.
Welcome to my house.
Welcome to my home.
Hello Horror Hounds, welcome to my horror house and welcome back to another Monster Monday, our look back through the films of the Godzilla franchise. And we have reached the final film of the Showa period, 1975, and the terror of Mechagodzilla. We start with a recap montage of the scrap between Godzilla and Mechagodzilla from the last film, with the Godzilla march playing over the top of it, and I am so here for this. Then the film proper starts and a submarine searches for the scattered remains of Mechagodzilla, but where they should be on the seabed, there's nothing to be found. Out of nowhere, a huge sea monster attacks and destroys the sub. Meanwhile, we've got aliens from the third black hole planet back from the previous film to have another go at conquering Earth. They've enlisted the help of a disgraced scientist, Dr. Mafane, who believed he could develop a way of controlling animals. Mafane also happens to have predicted the existence of this sea creature, so while the aliens are working with him, the Earth authorities now also want to speak to him. Oh yeah, and the aliens are rebuilding Mechagodzilla. Titanosaurus is the sea creature that attacks that submarine. And it's a monster that's actually full of real pathos because by nature it's a peaceful creature. It's only Dr. Mafane's control that sends it on these destructive rampages. We have Mechagodzilla back with an upgrade, fitted with Dr. Mafane's new control system and also some brain cells from his daughter. And of course we have the most famous kaiju in the world, Godzilla, who on a journey from 1954 to 1975, over the course of 15 movies, has seen him evolve from a terror-inducing beast of destruction to the hero defender of Earth. Everything bubbles along for the first half hour until Titanosaurus makes landfall, but the attack is a little lackluster and a lot of it is just off-screen screeches and explosions whilst we follow some human characters running around. But poor old Titanosaurus is just a patsy. The aliens intend him to fight Godzilla, not to win, he doesn't have a chance of winning, but to tire Godzilla out enough for Mechagodzilla to suddenly rock up and trounce him. I do feel sorry for old Titanosaurus, he didn't ask for any of this. Godzilla arrives at the scene of Titanosaurus's attack and he's given a true hero's entrance with a real hero shot and the Godzilla march starts to play. The two combatants square off on a huge scale city model set now, and just as things are starting to look tasty, the control over Titanosaurus is broken and the poor lug is at least allowed to bugger off back into the sea instead of getting torn to pieces by Godzilla. Eventually, Titanosaurus and Mechagodzilla attack the city and a lot of buildings get demolished. I'm so glad we're back to urban areas for these scenes instead of featureless mountain regions of scrubland. When Godzilla arrives, the fight is pretty epic. Godzilla is seriously overwhelmed. The fight does eventually move to the countryside, but I guess that's because you can only destroy a city set once. The Air Force joins in, this time to help Godzilla, something we'll see used in this year's Godzilla King of the Monsters as well. Godzilla and the guy inside the suit literally walks through fire to get to Mechagodzilla. Then he brings the smackdown again, tearing off Mechagodzilla's head. But we've said that Mechagodzilla's had an upgrade and he reveals a smaller secondary head inside, so the fight continues. It's a great rematch from the previous film and it's a wonderful way for the Showa period of Godzilla movies to bow out. The plot is more of a ticking clock than an all-out action film. The aliens are rebuilding Mechagodzilla throughout bringing their plans to fruition, and in parallel the Earth investigation closes in on Dr. Mafane, so everything sort of builds to a head and the final 10-15 minutes. While all this is going on, Dr. Mafane's daughter, Katsura, begins to have doubts about her loyalty to her father and his allegiances to the aliens. A long time ago, the aliens saved her life with their technology and set about stoking his desire for revenge on those who destroyed his career, and using his daughter's continued health and existence as leverage to get him to do what they want. Katsura then is the heart and conscience of the movie. She's essentially now a cyborg, but the remnants of her humanity struggle to take control as the film progresses. The alien tech inside her is used to control Mechagodzilla, and she is used just as her father uses the peaceful Titanosaurus against its own nature. But there's only so much build-up you can take before you want to cut to the chase. Mechagodzilla revitalised the Showa period in these last two films, but Godzilla is barely in this movie, and Mechagodzilla isn't activated until the hour mark with only 20 minutes of the film to go. I'm really glad the Showa period ended on a high, but I'm also looking forward to the franchise reboot and the start of the Heisei period with 1984's The Return of Godzilla.